So with that out of the way, we are going to get into today's theme, seeing as it was Phil's idea. Phil, would you like to present it today?
Yeah, okay, why not? We thought about arcade games in general, and then we decided that there was way too many, and we were looking at different lists of the best arcade games, and there was just, throughout the time, there was no way we could whittle it down to a few. So we thought for today's episode, seeing as it's probably the prime time of most of our gaming lives of going to arcades, we would focus on iconic games through the 90s.
Here we go. Here is another one that Antoine recommended, and again, we can go into Phil's preference, because again, this was another game that Phil had not played. Sega Rally. I played this on the Saturn, I believe it was on the Sega Saturn. I never played this in the arcade. But my friend had it on the Sega Saturn, and he had one of those little driving wheels, so we played it there. But Antoine, do you want to give us a little background on this one?
Yeah, so you guys might know, but maybe our younger listeners will not. Back in the 90s, WRC, so World Rally Championship, has this thing called Group B. And that was definitely the decade for the most stupid race there was ever. Like, imagine way overpowered cars on super small roads with all the crowd, no security barrier or anything, getting in the middle of the road and moving out of the way of the cars just at the end. It was absolutely insane. So back at this time in the 90s, rally was this big thing, and you called it the Genesis. For me, it's a Mega Drive. I had this Colin McRae rally, and there was all these rally games came out at this time. I guess it's not really popular now, but Sega Rally came out in this crazy time. So I think at this time they must have made a lot of money. It did not age well, definitely, but it was very, very fun. And I think for the little story, Phil chose Crazy Taxi, which I believe in the same kind. You drive a car. That's where the comparison ends. But Crazy Taxi aged much better because it was way more fun. This one was way more like try to get the best score on the arcade, and that's it. With score which will disappear as soon as you remove the plug of the arcade. So.
Yeah, this one was more of a kind of like what would you say? It was more like a. This is more like what Forza was before we have Forza and Gran Turismo.
I'd say right now you would compare it more like all the Formula One games that you have released every year.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember the controls were sometimes really kind of hard because this is before we really had a lot. I mean, there was kind of drifting, but there wasn't a lot. So controls would sometimes feel like you would turn way too sharp, or you just wouldn't turn sharply enough. And yeah, there was a little bit of drifting. You can see it there in the video, but it wasn't very well tuned, so it could get kind of crazy and spin out. So, did you ever play a lot of racing style games, Phil, or?
Yeah, I think I might have played it. When I said I hadn't played it, I thought that Cruising USA had been the winning coin flip. So I was going off a misconception. Sega Rally I've heard of, and maybe I've played it. But I think, again, racing games not massively huge for me, unless it's things like Burnout. Anything that's got crashes and explosions, I prefer that type. I found these games, especially early on, were just too infuriating in that some of the driver controls would just be so delicate or just crazy, and it would just annoy me. People are like, no, you've got to be, using your clutch at this time, or you've got to be changing gears at this time. I was like, what? Because I didn't drive until late on, so driving doesn't really interest me massively. So I was like, yeah, whatever. My foot down, it's not going. You're beating me. Whatever.
So I have a really important question for you guys. When you play these games, do you do manual or automatic?
Manual, of course.
I would drive manual, yeah, because that's how I did learn to drive.
Even on a regular car, I would prefer manual. My first 2 cars were both manuals, and then we came to Taiwan, and almost no
What?
cars here are manual. We
What
don't
a
have
fake
manuals here.
American you are.
Why?
I've been living in Canada since 2015, and it's extremely rare to see manual cars.
In America?
Everything's automatic, at least in Canada, but it's a North American market. Everything's automatic here.
Oh no, we would get
It's
the
terrible.
the smaller cars, like the Toyota Camrys, and you could choose. They had automatic versions or manual versions, and Americans love manual cars. I mean, we got the muscle car
Oh, yeah,
culture, you
yeah.
know. So you get like, it's just manual car is a man's car, you know. So, yeah. So my dad was like, "You're learning how to drive a manual," and he made sure that all of us knew how to drive manual transmission. And then I came to Taiwan, and it was interesting because here in Taiwan they actually have 2 different licenses. You can get you can get an automatic license or a manual license. And with the automatic license, you can only drive automatic vehicles, but with the manual license, you can drive automatics or manuals. So when I came here and I was getting my license, I applied for the manual license, and everyone kind of gave me a weird look, like, "Are you going to be driving trucks? You know, why would you want a manual license? Like, are you becoming a bus driver or something? You know?" So like, people kind of gave me weird looks, but yeah, no, I have it, and I'm very proud of myself for that. So yeah, I was just kind of surprised that they actually had 2 separate licenses, one for manual drivers, because they didn't want automatic people driving manual cars if they don't know what they're doing. All right, but since we mentioned Crazy Taxi, how about Phil give us a little breakdown on how that game goes?
Yeah, this for me again is another one of those wherever you go. When it was there with the bright yellow display thing, sit down with the driving wheel and everything, and I think it was iconic for the time as well, just because Offspring doing the whole
Yeah,
soundtrack to it, like na 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 na. Yeah.
looking through the
And it
videos, it was like, whoa! I totally forgot about these songs.
that was probably one of the best parts about it. You didn't mind paying the money for the gaming experience, but it was also you got like an Offspring tune for free whilst you were playing at the same time, so you could properly rock out and then just play again. And it was crazy. There was madness, everything. You get those short fares. Do you get the long fares? Can you get all the way over there? Who are you going to kill? Who are you going to crash? Where are you going to bang against everything? It was just for an arcade game. I said driving doesn't really interest me, but if it's driving with something fun and a bit quirky and a bit crazy like Burnout, then Crazy Taxi definitely had that silliness about it. And you're talking about the drift. Oh my God, trying to get some drift bonuses on Crazy Taxi going around corners, and seeing the numbers going ding, 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 ding with all your extra tip money. Yeah, man, that's what it's about. You guys Crazy Taxi fans?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, back in the day. So yeah, I like the fact that the scoring system was based entirely on how much money you were making. So you could, yeah, basically how fast you get there, and I think you get money deducted if you like kill people or something like that, right? So it's kind of a toss up between, well, if I kill this guy, I can get here faster, or like, so you kind of like putting a price on human life was kind of an interesting dynamic there. But yeah, I thought I liked the fact that it wasn't entirely based on time; that there were other factors, and you could even choosing your fares was actually even part of it. Do you want to go for the bigger fare, but it's going to be more difficult and you might fail, or do you want to go with the shorter one, which is kind of a safer bet, but you're going to be making a lot less money? So I think there was what was the game over status though? It was just you took too long, right?
Yeah, your time was always counting down. When you completed a fair, then you got extra time.
Hmm.
And if it was a longer fair, you got longer bonus time.
Right. Yeah, I think they made an update of this too, not too recently, but a while ago. I'm not sure if it's on current gen or maybe it was on like the previous 2 gens, like the PS3 and the Xbox 360. I don't remember, but yeah, there is an update somewhere.
I have both Crazy Taxis on my phone.
There you go.
So, na 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 na.
Does it still play the music?
Yeah.
And you control it just by rotating it like a steering wheel?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Interesting. Was it free or do you have to pay for that?
I think it was like cheap. It was like a few dollars. It wasn't anything expensive.
Yeah, they probably didn't have to do too much maintenance on it. I mean, the game's been out for forever. They're like, just put it out there and make money, sit back and collect.